Hello everybody, welcome to the video. So we're going to be looking over how to install mods for Lethal Company specifically. This will probably be in general how it is with most modding communities anyways, but when it comes to Lethal Company, that's the game I've been playing, so we're going to be focusing on Lethal Company today. So the first step in any of these cases is going to be downloading the Thunderstore mod manager. So I know that other people will use R2 Modman, but majority of the time, most people are going to be using the Thunderstore mod manager. I found it personally to be really easy to use, but I can understand R2 Modman apparently there's something wrong with Thunderstore when it comes to like other issues. I'm not really super aware about that situation, but I'll make a little separate video of a couple ideas I have for R2 Modman. A couple ideas that I've had from previous people that asked. They said something about importing from or exporting from a file, and then they were able to take the file and make the mod list. Otherwise, the really patient option is to go through file by file and tell them all the configurations for every mod, and then they have to like do it all like that. But for this case, we're going to just go over how to use Thunderstore Mod Manager. So I'm also going to try my best here to keep things in separate chunks, so that way I can make timestamps for the video. If you look down at the video time, you might see timestamps, and if you do, then then good. I actually made them. But anyways, yeah, I'm going to try to cover everything I can think of for this mod manager tutorial. So, all right, so yeah, the first step, of course, is going to be to get Thunderstore. And as you probably maybe saw when I was at the start of the video, all I did was I searched up Thunderstore download. You get to this page here, Overwolf. It's the first option that pops up for me. And you come to this page, and right here, it just says Get App. So now what it's probably going to have you do, either it's going to just download both things immediately from both things, but from here. But yeah, so the first thing it's probably going to have you do is download Overwolf, which is the platform that Thunderstore is on. And if you already have Overwolf, then we can skip it. We can actually go right to Overwolf and search it up on here. But if you don't have Overwolf, it'll probably just streamline it right to give you Thunderstore immediately after it installs Overwolf behind that. But if you have Overwolf, then you can go here and search the store, and you literally just type in THU. I even accidentally forgot the T, and it showed up still, and it just comes up right here. And you just gotta hit the install button. I assume it would be here but if you already have it installed, then it'll say launched here. And a lot of people that are into mine, they probably already have like something like Risk of Rain or some other game in that mod list, and so you might already have Thunderstore. And in which case, you can skip to this step here, which is the game selection screen. And you probably then already would know to pick Lethal Company. So the way this is work, it's alphabetical. So make sure. So since I have it favorited, that's why it's popping up right here. But if you don't have it favorited, you'll have to scroll down into the L section and then select it from there. Or you can type in something like Leth, and it's literally you have your two options here, and it's definitely not this game. So press select game on Lethal Company, and you'll be greeted with this screen. So I even just got rid of all the other mod lists I had, mod packs I had, and yeah, we're just right here on only default is going to be the only thing you see here. But I do have a code saved to my clipboard, and we'll go ahead and create a new profile from that. So I should actually go through the steps here. So yeah, you have your 5 options here. This is going to be what you select after you've imported. So you're not going to rename. You're not going to create new. Once you've figured out how to do mod list yourself, or you're being the host, then you might go here to create new, and you can create whatever title you want for your mod list. But if you're somebody who's joining a lobby, typically all you're going to go to here is the import/update. You're going to import new profile. There is the update existing profile option, but 9 times out of 10, it's better just to import the new profile. And for this video, we're going to look over about the code. There is a file option as well, and If the rare case happens where it's the file, it's going to be a very similar process. You're going to have to go through your computer, browse for that file that you downloaded, and then you're going to have to put that file onto here. And it's the same process, but a little bit extra steps, honestly. So code's definitely the better way to do it. So we're going to just go ahead and paste this code that I already have saved. And this is going to give me a list that I had prior to this. So, and I'm going to show you what happens when you download a mod list where you already have something named after that mod. So in this scenario, this mod list is called default. And as you see, I already have default there. So if you ever get a mod list where it's like default, you're going to be greeted with this screen immediately. And all it's saying here is default is either already in use or contains invalid characters. And yeah, it's already in use because every Thunderstore will always have this default option. So don't panic. This is very easy to fix. Set a 1. Or you can even delete, write whatever you want. Whatever, it doesn't matter. All it's basically saying, though, is that you already have a default mod list, so you just have to change the name. And yeah, so now that we changed it to we're just going to create it. And I already had the mods imported, so once you played around with this enough, it'll download really fast because you've already downloaded majority of the mods. But in this case, we haven't downloaded. But in your case, if you haven't downloaded any mods, mod lists will vary with how long they take to download. So yeah, so you'll see that we have it selected. Whenever you click something here and it selects it, it'll highlight it as blue. And all you gotta do is after you download your mod list, you're gonna select the profile for that mod list. And then yeah, you're agree with this screen. So when you are agree with this screen, your next step is going to be, if you're joining a lobby, you can ask the host, like you can verify with them. So is it 46 mods in your mod list? And if they say yes, then that's a good thing. You've got it. And then another thing you'll see at the top of the screen sometimes is, would you like to update all your mods? You can ask the host if they've updated the mods. And if they have, then you can probably go ahead and update the mods. But 9 times out of 10 as well, for this case, you probably don't want to update your mods. And it'll typically be that the host intentionally left them unupdated. So that way everybody can join with the non-updated mods and it works a lot better that way. But yeah, it's on the host though about doing that kind of thing and making sure they're being up to date with that. So anyways, then once you're done with those steps and you verified you have all the correct mods, you can go ahead and click this button right up here, the mod game. And when it comes to if you're joining a lobby, there's a couple things you need to know with this. So I'm going to load this one up, and I'm going to tell you. Though, with this mod list, there is actually a mod in here that skips one of the screens. So this here, intro tweaks. So it skips the intro menu screen, which is going to be something you might notice if you played the vanilla game at all. So when you skip that, you're going to see it doesn't have the loading screen and it doesn't have the online or LAN screen. So here, yeah. So it just skipped right to this, but I'll show you what to do when you don't have this mod. So we're going to disable this mod just for the people that don't have this mod. And so this is what you're typically going to see and what the screen you're going to have to always get past. Okay. So yeah, if you have that intro tweaks mod or something similar, you'll skip this screen. But if you don't have any of those mods, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to select this before you try to join the lobby. So make sure you get past this screen, and you always want to end up at this screen if you have more company. If you have another mod that's changing your lobby size or something, it'll say something different. But yeah, in this case here, this is the screen you want to be on if you're joining a lobby. If you're joining a lobby, then you're going to go to your next step, which is going to be to get a Steam join lobby code. So I just already have this open here, and a Steam join lobby code is going to look something like this. So it's going to have Steam, join lobby, bunch of numbers. And where you get this is going to be on the person's profile, and it'll be here. Currently online, it says right now. Refresh the page. Currently in game, Lethal Company, and it'll be a green join button. And then you right click that. It'll bring up two options, and you copy link address. That's where they would normally get the Steam invite code. So, and then what you do with that Steam invite code is you would go to your browser and you just paste the code in here. So, that's the mod list. But yeah, you'd paste the Steam join code up to here into your browser, and then it'll pop up a little thing saying open Steam, and you just click open Steam, and then you should be geared to go right into join the lobby. Now we're gonna make a bit of a how-to as a host. And if you're the host of a modded lobby, a couple things to go over. So there's two things you're going to need after you have your mods all set up. So for this example, we're going to just go ahead and use this list again. We're going to close that, and we're going to go ahead and use this list. So what you're going to typically want to do is, of course, if you're in Discord, you're going to want to join some kind of group. So we're going to use unofficial, for example, here. You're going to want to create a crew in your Discord or wherever you want to do this. So you could, if you're playing with friends, you can make a DM group or something. But if you want to have it where you're playing with random people, something like unofficial Lethal Company is a good way to find random people. And they actually recently have it now, so you can have it up modded or vanilla. So now you can post your crew links into here, and then you can add whatever information you want to add for what kind of people you want to join. But sometimes people will just join the calls randomly, and they won't pay attention to any of this. And so the purpose of this video is something so that if someone's new to modding, then I'll be going over that. As I just previously went over how to do the modding. Now they won't have to bother you with that question. But anyways, so yeah, having something like this is probably a good start, just to have your base, and then you can move on to the next steps, which is going to be then so since you already have your mod lists in this scenario, what you're going to want to go to do is go to settings here, with your mod lists all above there, and you go to settings, you go to profile. You can also find it in all, of course, but profile, it's literally just right here. So export profile as a code. And then, as I told you before, there is the option for R2 Modman. Sometimes they'll ask you to export a profile as a file. I'll just quickly show you this here instead of making another video. So if you export profile as a file, what will happen, at least happens for me, is this just pops up in the background. I don't know why it doesn't just like pop up on your screen. And yeah, you got to select a folder. So if you don't have a folder, just make a new folder, whatever, and you can call it whatever you want. And then you can literally post the mod list here, and then you can drag it into Discord after you've selected that folder and put it into that folder. And then you can name, of course, the mod whatever you want, mod list whatever you want to name it here. And then yeah, and of course I failed to export because I didn't export it. Export profile as a code, though, is typically what you want to select, because this one's just so much easier of a modless way to share it. And then yeah, there's going to be your code. And then what you want to do with your code is you go to your call or whatever it is, and you pick the VC chat. So see here on these chats, they have open chat, invite to server. But of course, you're going to click here, the open chat button beside your call, and then you just post the two links that we're going to make into the chat that's there. That's typically the best way to do it. And then of course, you can also post the code into your looking for crew section, as some people do. I don't see anybody here that's doing that, but yeah, you can also do that as well. And yeah, so we're going to go from that step, and then after that step, make sure you have your modded game open. So we're going to open up a modded game, and then this is where I'll show you how to do the Steam join lobby code. So once you get Lethal Company open, I put back on the intro skip. Get to see a little furry art again, as we always get to see. And you come to here. So I currently have a mod on that's increasing the amount of saves, but even if you have just the 3 files, you can always delete an old file with these X's. They're right beside here. But in this case, of course, let's make a new file. And you can call it whatever you want, but it doesn't really matter. Nobody's even going to see this server name. And just create that. You want to always do it friends only, so that way you're not getting you're not getting all these other random people on. But yeah, here we go. We got this. And now that we're in the game and we have all our mods loaded here, so as you can see, this is not the normal vanilla game because of the suits. And you'll see maybe on the terminal, there's some other purchase things you can get. You see the HUD there. So yeah, this is of course a mod game. And after everybody's followed all those previous steps I said, they'll be able to join you easily based off of one thing. Is if you go to your Steam profile, you see how here it doesn't show the option. That's because you always got to make sure you're refreshed. So once you refresh your page, it shows it here. And then as I said earlier, you just have to go here, right click it, and it'll pop up these two options here. You're going to want to do copy link address. And then once you've copied link address, you go to your Discord call, and you can paste it into the Discord call, and it shows up like this. And so typically what you're doing as host is you have your Modlist code up above it, and then you have your Steam join lobby code underneath it. And then most of the time you're going to have people that join a mod lobby and they've already done the mod stuff, so they don't know what to do with just those two links alone. And then with this video, now you can also just share this video. Anyways, so that's what to do basically if you're a host, and yeah, you're all set to go right from there. But there are going to be some issues sometimes with some people. Let's go over them. So the first issue that comes to mind that a lot of people will have is they're gonna, when they go back, and we'll go to select game, and then we'll go to import/update. So let's go ahead and grab a mod code real quick because I got rid of that old one. Go here, export profile as code. And then I'm going to show you the most common one that I always see people do. So we go here, change profile, and then we go to import/update, import new profile from code. And then a lot of people will get this error, and I'll show you exactly how they get this error. So see there, I put a space there. So sometimes when they copy a code, they accidentally have a space in there or something. And so it'll give you this error. Failed to import profile, cannot read properties of undefined, reading starts with. Okay. And then we already know what that error is because I just went over it, but that always will show up if someone accidentally put a space or something in there. And it could be anywhere in the code that maybe it's missing a number or letter as well. But yeah, that's the easy way to fix that. So the next issue that sometimes people have is it says something like failed to import because of another such and such reason. But yeah, just make sure your code's correct. And then yeah, typically I've never had problems after I said that. Make sure there's no spaces, and they're like, oh, okay, it works. So yeah, you shouldn't have any issues beyond that on that screen. So the next thing that sometimes people have issues with always stems from trying to join the lobby. So when you're trying to join the lobby, a couple issues that will occur sometimes, even if you've done everything right. So there is this one issue where if you've done everything right and you're going on into the game, it will show you this weird black screen. And I can actually even go to Discord right now and show that because I actually saw somebody who said about that. So yeah, it'll show you this screen. This is the screen that you actually don't really need to worry about, honestly. So all you have to do is relaunch your game. So you reset, close the program, go back to the modded thing, and open up modded again. Reload it, do the same crew link, join lobby link, all that. You're good to go. You're good to join. Another issue that sometimes people will have with joining lobbies is you'll get the error sometimes where it still is just not letting you join, and it'll say something like uh, error version number. So if there's a version number error, that issue is going to be from somebody not having the mods correctly, the correct mods. And so this can be stemmed from somebody accidentally not selecting the right profile. So we go change profile here. Let's say they download the mod list, it's right there, but they accidentally pick default and they select profile, go here and open modded when you have no mods. That's of course going to give you a different version number error. Or they did select the right mod pack and they open it up vanilla, something like that. So silly little errors like that can occur. Also, when you try to join lobby, so here, let me. So when this mod's not enabled and you're on that online LAN screen, somehow when you load up modded and you're on that online LAN screen and you go to join the game, it will load it up as a Steam version instead somehow. At least that's sometimes what happened to me. I remember happening. So, anyways, make sure you get past that online or LAN screen. Because it'll give you that version number error, and that's all that means, the version number error. But that's a way to. That's actually a good way. It was a good way to dissuade people from accidentally loading into a game without mods. So yeah, it was good on whoever developed the mods for that. So yeah, if you have the version number error, make sure you have all the mods or you load up the mod version properly. Next one that I remember a lot of people having. So let's say you have the issue where you still can't join and you've done everything correctly. So sometimes, for whatever reason, if you've done everything correctly and it's not the black screen with the smoke, then what also might be the issue with the error is that for whatever reason, the game's still blocking the person from joining. So this typically doesn't happen, but if that does ever happen, then one way to work around it is to friend the person on Steam and then join the old way of doing it where you just are friends with each other and you invite the friend or they just join you through their profile. And that's typically worked for those scenarios. And then if everything else fails, nothing else is working, then you're screwed for joining that lobby. And it's happened before, and then somebody that has happened to, they joined me later on another lobby another time. So it also could just be that it was like a fluke, an error that was happening somehow out of nowhere. But yeah, anyways, that's all the different solutions to the troubleshooting problems. So we've talked about how to join as somebody who's joining a lobby. We've talked about how to be a host and what you need to do as a host. And then we've talked about all the different troubleshooting problems. And then we also went over at the very beginning how to get to the Thunderstore Mod Manager. And then again, if you're using R2 Modman, I went over it a little bit in this video about the couple solutions with that. So there was the uploading, so taking the profile from a file or going through all the mods and asking them if there's any configurations. Because if there's any configurations too, though, it's like they have to be very patient if they're going to want to go through all that with you. But yeah, anyways, hopefully this helps people. And anyways, see ya.